Good morning. Those are the alarm sounds of war. Dude. Okay, here we go. This should explain it all. This is like part 3, and I think it explains it all. Okay? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. When Paul says, of the times and seasons, brothers, I have no need to write to you, for you know. All right? Now, that line, if you read that line, it's extremely hard to understand because you read that and you go, what are you talking about, man? I want to know. What do you mean you don't need to write to me about the exact times and seasons? That doesn't make any sense. I want to know when. What's going on? What are you talking about? Then he says, because you all know they're going to say, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come upon them. And then that whole letter, he makes a distinction between us and them. And if you keep reading, it says, but you are not, and then it'll come like a thief in the night. But you are not of the darkness, you are of the light. So to you, it will not come like a thief. So how does this make any sense? Because he's saying, we don't need to write to you about it. And it's going to come like a thief in the night. And for those in the dark, it'll be sudden destruction, the day of the Lord. So even if he's referencing that whole day of the Lord, which would be the 7 years of tribulation. Let's let this bus go by. It's a rainy day here in Texas.
Yeah, it is.
Very rare that you have to drive a car to a elementary school that's 4 blocks away, but it's pouring down rain today. So we're from Washington, man. We know all about the rain, but once you get away from it, you don't want it even to touch you anymore. I don't want rain anymore. I just want sunshine every day.
Well, I want to stop in puddles.
Well, that's true. Stopping in puddles is fun.
And the lakes will get filled up.
And the Texas lakes and rivers need water. So rain away. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use a car. So anyway, now, check it out. Here, let's correlate this with some other scriptures and some understanding about when the rapture takes place and when the end times takes place and what the end times looks like. Paul doesn't say the end times is peace and safety. He says when they say it, then sudden destruction will come. They've been saying that little code word now for a while, so it doesn't seem very sudden, does it? Now check this out. In the end, will be perilous times, is what he says to Timothy, and Jesus says it. Will there even be faith? It'll be the worst time in the world. It's perilous times, and that's growing, and that's right. And I think we've seen a massive exponential growth of that. But this perilous time, we're on the verge of it being possible if Israel engages in the ground war. It's funny, on the NFL game last night, they were like, oh, we saved these 10 seats for these people that are kidnapped and left in Gaza. We all support Israel. I'm telling you right now, when I hear America say that, when I see the whole world say that, and then you see the protesting on the streets, trust me, it won't take long before they change their mind and they go, nah, we're not supporting them anymore. It won't take long. If they go ground and everything that we think is going to happen, and the proxies fire their weapons and Israel fires into Damascus. But this support of Israel is very weird, because we know in Zechariah and in all of the Ezekiel stuff, the whole world abandons Jerusalem. So why is it that everybody's supporting them right now? That's because I believe now more than ever, Because remember, what is Paul in when the scripture we were talking about from the beginning in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5? The whole letters of Thessalonians. He's writing to these people because they were afraid that they missed the rapture and are headed into the tribulation. Okay? They were afraid of that. So Paul's like, hey, you can't go in. There's no need for me to write to you about that. And as long as the restrainer is here, the revealing of the Antichrist can't happen. So we know, I'm going to go this way, so we can park and walk in. So we know, so it's like there's all these people that are like, oh, did we miss it? What's going to happen? What's going to happen to us if we miss the rapture and we go into the tribulation? And Paul's telling them that can't happen. There's no need for me to write to you. When they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. I imagine we're going to see the repeated cycle of Psalms 83, proxy, Isaiah 17, Damascus leveled, peace and safety.
Dad, are you ready yet?
It's going to be all right. You can build your temple. You can have all this land. Everybody stop. Let's live in peace and safety. Then rapture. So that's coming probably, in my opinion, next fall, 2024. I think I'm going to go all in. But we got to study. Well, what's going all in even mean? You go all in, you keep looking. All right?
Bye, guys.
Bye.